Top 10 mega construction project that will change the face of Africa. Africa is growing day by day, and the burgeoning middle class continues to drive demand for sustainable social infrastructure. Work is currently underway on some of the biggest construction projects ever completed in the continent as it strives to support the fast-growing population. These projects are some of the most expensive the continent has ever known, and upon completion, will change the face of Africa in several ways. For so many years, Africa was far behind when it came to infrastructural development, but the continent is catching up with the rest of the world. From beautiful stadiums and exotic bridges, the continent is rising up to the challenge. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you do not miss any of our videos. These are several massive projects currently ongoing in Africa, but these are the ones that really stand out. So in no particular order, these are the top 10 ongoing mega projects in Africa. Number 1. Dangote Oil Refinery, Nigeria. The Dangote Oil Refinery project is set to be world's largest single oil refinery. Situated in Nigeria, the facility will produce a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day and will boost economic growth in Nigeria and generate thousands of jobs. The refinery project will cost a whopping $14 billion, and once complete, the planned refinery and petrochemical complex is expected to account for half of Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote's sprawling assets. It is also expected to increase the country's oil exports and reduce its reliance on imports of petroleum products. With a capacity to process 650,000 barrels of crude a day, Dangote Oil Refinery will be one of the world's biggest oil refineries when it begins operations in 2022. The refinery, which is expected to generate 9,500 direct and 25,000 indirect jobs, will produce ROV quality gasoline and diesel, as well as jet fuel and polypropylene. While Dangote took on a $3.3 billion syndicated loan, which Standard Chartered plc arranged, about 60% of the Dangote Oil Refinery will be self-funded. Number 2. Egypt's new capital city. Egypt's spanking new capital, rising up out of the desert sands, is set to bring a breath of fresh air to Cairo that is weighed down by its population that continues to rise, putting a strain on existing infrastructure. Located 45 kilometers east of Cairo, the smart city has 21 residential districts and 25 commercial districts. The city will have a recreation park double the size of New York City's Central Park, 90 square kilometers of solar energy farms, and several artificial lakes. Other key features include a technology park, 40,000 hotel rooms, a theme park 4 times the size of Disneyland, 2,000 educational institutions, 1,250 mosques, 663 hospitals and clinics, and a new international airport. Transfer of government ministries, foreign embassies, parliament, and presidential palaces is expected to take place between 2020 and 2022 at a cost of $45 billion. The new capital is expected to draw a population of 7 million people in its first phase. Number 3. Konza Technopolis, Kenya. Konza Technopolis, previously called Konza Technology City, is a large technology hub planned by the government of Kenya to be built 64 kilometers south of Nairobi on the way to the port city of Mombasa. It is marketed as a key driver of Kenya's National Development Plan, known as Kenya Vision 2030. Technology City is a smart city project that is coming up in the eastern part of Kenya. The construction of a $14.5 billion technology city in Machakos County in a bid to attract technology talents and investors to drive its economic growth. Konza City, which is located 64 kilometers south of the capital Nairobi, is modeled around the US Silicon Valley, hence the moniker African Silicon Savannah. The smart city targets business process outsourcing, software development, data centers, disaster recovery centers, call centers, light manufacturing industries, and research institutions. Konza is expected to have a positive impact on the country's economy by creating opportunities for local investors, attracting external investors, supporting startup incubation, and creating jobs for locals. Number 4. Bagamoyo Port, Tanzania. The Bagamoyo Port is being constructed in Bagamoyo, Tanzania. Work started in 2018. It is planned to be one of the largest government infrastructure projects in the country. Tanzania embarked on the construction of an $11 billion megaport at the Swahili historical town of Bagamoyo, as it races to become a regional economic powerhouse. Contracts to begin port construction were signed in October 2015, and was set to complete phase 1 of the construction project in 2017. The project was cancelled by a new government 3 months later in January 2016. In 2018, the project got the go-ahead, and work started in about June to July of 2018. It will be built in association with the state-owned China Merchants Port. It will include a special economic zone. Majorly funded by China, Bagamoyo Port is expected to handle 20 million containers a year by 2045, making it the largest such facility in East Africa. The project is a tri-state venture between Tanzania, China, and Oman. State-owned China Merchants Port is building the port, while an Omani sovereign wealth fund will establish a 1,700-hectare special economic zone adjacent to the port. Number 5. Mambilla Hydroelectric Power Station, Nigeria. The Mambilla Hydroelectric Power Station is a 3,050 megawatt hydroelectric power project under development in Nigeria. When completed, it will be the largest power generating installation in the country and one of the largest hydroelectric power stations in Africa. Nigeria is undertaking construction of mega hydropower dam as it seeks to boost its energy production. Dubbed Mambilla Hydroelectric Power Project, the facility, which has been planned for more than 3 decades, is one of the biggest construction projects in Africa. The Mambilla Hydroelectric Power Project, which is being undertaken by China Sinahydro Corp at a cost of $5.8 billion, will be connected to 3 dams across the Danga River in Taraba State, Nigeria. The facility will have a total installed capacity of 3,050 megawatts of electricity. Number 6. Kenya Standard Gauge Railway, Kenya. The Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway is a standard gauge railway in Kenya that connects the large Indian Ocean city of Mombasa with Nairobi, the country's capital and largest city. Kenya is building a 969-kilometer standard gauge railway from Mombasa to Malaba at a cost of $9.9 billion in what is billed as one of the largest and most ambitious transport infrastructure projects in Africa. The first phase of the project, which spans 472 kilometers from Mombasa to Nairobi, has been completed at a cost of $3.27 billion, while phase 2A, from Nairobi to Naivasha, 120 kilometers, is currently under construction at a cost of $1.5 billion. On the other hand, phase 2B of the new railway, from Naivasha to Kisumu, 270 kilometers, is set to cost $3.8 billion, while phase 2C, a 107-kilometer extension from Kisumu to Malaba, will consume $1.31 billion. Number 7. Grand Ethiopian Dam, Ethiopia. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, formerly known as the Millennium Dam and sometimes referred to as Sidace Dam, is a gravity dam on the Blue Nile River in Ethiopia that has been under construction since 2011. It is in the Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia, about 15 kilometers east of the border with Sudan. At 6.45 gigawatts, the dam will be the largest hydroelectric power plant in Africa when completed, as well as the 7th largest in the world. As of October 2019, the work stood at approximately 70% completion. The filling of the reservoir is scheduled to begin in July 2020. Once completed, the reservoir could take anywhere between 5 and 15 years to fill with water, depending on hydrologic conditions during the filling period and agreements reached between Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. Number 8. Kikilo-Kabisa Hydroelectric Power Station, Angola. Kikilo-Kabisa Hydroelectric Power Station is a 2,172 MW hydroelectric power station under construction in Angola. When completed, it will be bigger than the 2,070 MW Laika Hydroelectric Power Station, the largest power station in the country, as of July 2017. The power station is located at the village of Sao Pedro da Quilemba, near the city of Dondo, in Konza, Noire province. This location is approximately 195 kilometers by road, southeast of Luanda, the capital and largest city of Angola. In August 2017, construction began on this power station by the selected contractor, China Jezeba Group Company Limited, with partial funding from the state-owned Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. The total project cost is budgeted at $4.5 billion, 85% of which was borrowed from Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. The construction company, Jezeba Group, will own, operate and maintain the power station for at least 4 years after commercial commissioning. During those 4 years, China Jezeba will train Angolan technicians on how to manage the power station. An estimated 10,000 workers are expected to be hired during the construction phase. Number 9. Pointe Noire Special Economic Zone, Pointe Noire, Republic of Congo. The Pointe Noire Special Economic Zone in the Republic of Congo is an in-development project that will cover nearly 9,000 acres near a strategically important port that also serves as a hub for the oil industry. It will bring vital infrastructure and manufacturing facilities to this key area that serves as the backbone of the country's economy. Once completed, the Pointe Noire Special Economic Zone is expected to stimulate economic activities within the Republic of Congo, while also creating more than 100,000 jobs for Congolese citizens. The project is expected to generate $1.12 billion by 2022. $2.18 billion by 2026 and $3.57 billion by 2031. Number 10. Grand Eiger Dam, Democratic Republic of Congo. The Eiger Dams are 2 hydroelectric dams connected to one of the largest waterfalls in the world, Eiger Falls. They are located in the Western Democratic Republic of the Congo and 140 miles southwest of Kinshasa. There are currently 2 in a dam, in a 1 and in a 2, but the construction of a 3rd dam in a 3 is under construction. The dam is designed to have an average output of 39,000 megawatts annually, nearly twice as much as the Three Gorges Dam in China, making it the world's largest hydropower scheme. The 2 hydroelectric dams, Eiger I and Eiger II, currently operate at a low output. Eiger I has a total installed capacity of 351 megawatts and Eiger II has 1424 megawatts. They were built under former President Mobutu Sese Seko as part of the Eiger Shaba project. Grand Eiger Dam is expected to cost an estimated $100 billion, including the cost of transmission lines needed to carry its power across the continent. These are the top 10 mega construction projects ongoing in Africa. Thanks for watching, and before you go, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime we upload a new video.